Good afternoon. It is 1:34 on Sunday, and I am just on my way home from my boyfriend's. We had a quiet weekend. It was nice. He's not, well, it's not that he's sick, but he's just got some weirdness going on. He's got like this weird numbness, tingly kind of feeling that is kind of running from like this side of his face, like down but middle of his chin, so it's weird. And he's very frustrated with it and seems to have quite an effect on his energy. It's weird, but he's got some appointments to check into that next week, I think. So we shall see. And then I woke up yesterday, halfway through the day yesterday, and my ears plugged again. Fuck. It happens all the friggin' time. I hate it so much. To see what I can do about that when I get home. So everything sounds kind of weird right now. I'm still fighting this cough. Today it seems much, much better. Yesterday it was crazy. But today it seems much, much better. So that's good. So my ribs are getting sore. Yesterday I was coughing so much I was actually getting a headache. I was like, fuck. Between my boyfriend and I, we're just falling apart. It's horrible. It's not a good time. But whatever, it's fine. So I got to his place Friday, I don't know, probably around 6-ish. Work was crazy. I think we did like 9 houses. And the last house that we did was a first and hopefully a last time clean, because damn. It was in a really shitty part of town, for one. So we kind of knew it was going to be a shit show. But apparently, this young lady runs a daycare out of her home. So when we walked in and I seen the state of it and the smell of it, I was like, seriously? Like, who in their right mind would leave their child here? Come on. I don't care how desperate you are. Come on. The dust on the ceiling fans was so thick, I could see it from the front door. Yeah. It was nuts. There was no eating area set up in the kitchen. Rather, it had it looked like a bench, or a really long bench that went from wall to wall across the kitchen, back of the kitchen. Or like a shelf, like a homemade shelf. And underneath it was a ginormous cage, either for a rabbit or for a bunch of guinea pigs. I don't know. But yeah. The bathroom ceiling was covered in mold and was starting to travel down the walls. And they wanted us to scrub that. Well, we couldn't, because number one, the paint was chipping. So I don't know what you want me to do with that. And number two, we did try in areas, like a Tesco, and it wasn't coming off. It was better, but it was stained. So we were like, yeah, we can't help you with that. You're gonna have to take the rest of the paint. It's chipping anyway. Take the paint off and repaint. But we got it off the walls. But yeah, it was intense. There was just the one bathroom. It was a very small house. I couldn't imagine it as a daycare. Holy crap. But it took me the whole time we were there to do this bathroom. Like, it was just nuts. Yeah. I came out of there smelling like mold. It was horrible. And I'm not shaming anybody that likes to smoke their pot. It's legal, but the house reeked of pot. And it's a fucking daycare. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have nothing against anybody that smokes pot. Smoke your pot. It's legal now. I really don't care. And if you want to do it in your home, do it in your home. But if you're running a daycare, you might want to rethink that. Same thing with cigarettes. I mean, come on now. I mean, if your home is your business and your business is with kids, just saying. Yeah, it was nasty. So I think I got home about, I don't know, 3:30-ish, somewhere in there. And I talked to my buddy real quick. And he had a buddy over, came down to visit from, I don't know, wherever the hell he's from. And he wanted to bring him over. He wanted us to meet, right? And I was like, dude, any other time, but like, I need to get to my boyfriend's, and I'm hot, and I'm tired, and I smell like mold. I need a shower. And I need to get going. I don't want to be driving. You know, I don't want to be getting there at like fucking 7 o'clock at night. As it was, I got there around 6. So I rain checked that idea. And I went and I jumped in the shower. And before I left, I said to my boys, you know, like I ran the dishwasher Thursday night. I said, one of you needs to empty the dishwasher. The other one of you needs to sweep. Just the main level of the house. Don't worry about, I didn't want them to do upstairs or sweep down the stairs because I've seen them do it. And yeah, I don't need anybody going to the hospital. So let's just do the main floor. I'll do the rest of it when I get home. And somebody empty the dishwasher. And I asked Boo Boo specifically to water all my flower pots and hanging plants and stuff like that were outside, because we topped out at like 41 or some shit like that with the Humidex yesterday. It was madness. I was not impressed that we had so many goddamn houses on a Friday, and 2 of them were add-ons. Like, we had a cancellation, so it was supposed to be like 8. And then she added 2 more on to that. I was like, like, I can see adding the 1 to make up for the one that canceled, but seriously, was not amused. Was not amused at all. Now, granted, my boss came to help with the last maybe 3 houses, I think it was. Which is great, but it didn't make me feel any less hot or any less tired. So, I mean, I was just dripping yesterday. I mean, I sweat my ass off when it's like 25 and any kind of Humidex. You know? But I mean, it was fucking 41 with humidity yesterday. I swear to God, there was maybe 2 houses that had their air conditioning on. And I'm here to tell you, it felt great when you first walked into the house, but once we got working, it might as well have not been on at all. Like, whatever. Yeah, I wanted to die yesterday. It was hot. It wasn't hot. It was humid. It was stupid humid. You could smell and taste the humidity. It was that bad. I hate that. So I was really glad to get home and get in the shower yesterday. So when I got there, I sat and chilled for a little bit. And then, you know, I talked to my boyfriend about what's been going on with him and whatever, and sort of got all that cleared up. Because he'd been texting me about it, but it's not stuff like that. You've got to have a face-to-face conversation. Shit just gets misunderstood and glossed over and whatever. So that was good. Got all that sort of cleared up a little, well, as best you can without having any tests done. So then we went out for dinner, and we had a nice dinner, and went back to his place, and we watched a couple of movies. There's the old movie arguments right up there with what do you want for dinner, right? I don't know. That's like an hour long to do, and it's the same with movies. What do you want to watch? I don't know. don't really care. I need my air back on. Fuck, it's hot. I'll turn it down once it cools out in here. Oh, fuck. So, I can't remember what we watched on Friday night. But we watched 2 movies. And then went to bed. Oh, hang on. Don't want to get copywritten. Yeah, I don't remember what we watched. Yeah, no idea. But anywho, we watched a couple of movies. Probably went to bed around 2. And I think I was good. I think I was up by about 10 on Saturday. And I got washed up and dressed, and I walked over to the Timmy's and got a coffee, because my boyfriend doesn't own a coffee maker. He doesn't drink coffee. He's weird. He's that person. I told him when he gets his new house built, he has to buy me a coffee maker, because that house will be out in fuck nowhere, and I am not getting in my car and driving into another town to go get coffee in the morning. So, homeboy needs to buy a coffee maker. I will bring coffee. Like, yeah, to Perk. Just saying. Respect, please. So I walked up the street and I grabbed a coffee. We didn't really do much during the day yesterday. He had said something about putting a picnic together and going for a picnic, which I thought was kind of cute because we don't do shit like that. I was like, oh, that could be a good time. Okay. But we didn't. In fact, he started doing the nod probably around 2:30. Well, 2:30. I think we were watching something on TV, or I was watching something on YouTube. And I seen him doing the nod, and I was like, babe, go to bed. Like, go take a nap. He's like, I've been dozing all afternoon. I said, I know, but go get into bed and get comfortable and have a proper sleep. Like, you know, if you're tired, you're tired. Like, I knew you weren't 100% when I came down. I knew that you would probably be going for a nap. Like, it's perfectly fine. I can entertain myself. Emily D. Baker had put up some live stream court stuff that I wanted to watch, and that was going to kill like 3 hours anyway. I was like, go do that. I'll watch this podcast. Like, it's perfectly fine. If you want, I'll get you up in like an hour. I think I gave him an hour and a half because I wanted to watch as much of the podcast as I could. So he went and laid down, and I watched the podcast, most of the podcast. And I went and got him up probably around 4:30, 4:45, somewhere in there. And then there was the discussion of what to do for dinner. And I said, well, I don't really want to go out anywhere. And I can't afford to go out for dinner. He paid for dinner last night, or on Friday night. So why don't we just go to the superstore, and like, I'll grab a salad and you can grab whatever you want. I actually found a great big tray of meatballs that I picked up. I'm going to do spaghetti and meatballs for the boys tonight. So we did that. He got himself a pasta thing, and which I've gotten there before. They're quite good. You just nuke them when you get home. They're fabulous. And I grabbed my salad. And then, of course, it was, we need junk food. And I says, well, like, because he had a bag of chips from the other night that we never opened. And I said, well, you've got a bag of chips and dip at home. Like, that's fine. He's like, yeah, but it's the two of us. We are nighttime snackers. We sit down and watch a movie and we have like a whole spread. We're bad. But I'm trying to talk him out of it because he's been carrying on, like, for years. He's been carrying on and on about dropping the junk food, whatever. He always implies that he only really does, like, the hardcore junk food thing, like, when I come over or when he comes to my house, so it's my fault. I said, you don't have to. I don't care. Like, I eat at night when I'm bored. Like, when I'm sitting down watching TV and there's nothing further to do for the night, that's when I start munching. I don't need it. I'm not hungry. I'm bored eating. Whatever. So we got pie. And a thing of ice cream. Like a big thing of ice cream. Usually we get two little ones, so we each have our own. And then when it's gone, it's gone. Because I am not driving home with a thing of ice cream in my car. But I got a big one. And another bag of chips and another thing of dip. The pie was terrible. I'm here to tell you, I was so disappointed. Picked up a cherry pie. I love all pie. I don't really care. I don't discriminate. All pie is awesome. But there's a special plate in my heart for cherry pie, and then my favorite of life is strawberry rhubarb. But cherry is a very nice pie. So we got home and we figured out we were going to watch American Psycho because we got talking about it on Friday night. That's what we watched Friday night. It was another movie with Christian Bale that I'd never heard of before. It was alright. It was some sort of murder mystery that somehow had Edgar Allan Poe in it. I can't even remember the name of it. It was interesting. So we'd settled on American Psycho for Saturday night. So we queued that up and cut up this pie. And I took a couple bites of it. I'm like, it tastes funny. And my boyfriend was like, he's like, I don't know. It's like, my tongue's all fucked up. I have no idea. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, it tastes funny. It was like really bitter. So I went and I checked the date on the pie, and the date was fine. It was like August 3rd or 4th or some shit like that. But it tastes really weird. I was like, yeah, I don't like it. And I'm still eating it. I don't trust it. Nom, nom, nom. So I don't know. I had like 4 or 5 bites, and finally I was like, yeah, like I can't. The last thing I need right now is fucking food poisoning. Like it's not happening. I can't put it away. He came and put his away. I've had pies from that brand before and they were fine. So I have no idea what was up with that, but I was not messing around with that. But I was really upset because I love pie. I was looking forward to some for breakfast. Oh, pie. But whatever. So we dipped into the ice cream because we had to get rid of the taste of pie. Right? I mean, obviously. We watched American Psycho and had ginormous bowls of ice cream. It was ridiculous. It was an interesting movie. I have never seen American Psycho. I've seen reviews on it. Like, I've read reviews on it. I've heard of it. It's different. It is different. I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's a great movie either, but it was different. It was an experience. And then we watched Manhunter, based on Red Dragon. That has Grissom, the guy who plays Grissom. I can't remember. William Peterson? I don't know, something like that. I've seen that before. Finally, I've been trying to see that movie for years. I finally found it I think it was on Soap today. And watched it, I don't know, a couple months ago. I really enjoyed it. It was a good movie. It was a different sort of take than Red Dragon was. But I like them both equally and for different reasons. But my boyfriend had never seen it. In fact, he said he'd never heard of it. So I said, well, give it a try. And if you don't like it, we'll turn it off and find something else. But apparently it was my night to decide on movies. We both agreed on American Psycho. So I had to pick one. These are the things that we carry on about. It's so weird. The discussion of what do you want for dinner and what do you want to watch, like those are, if we're gonna nitpick at each other, that's what we nitpick about. And I think I fell asleep during it. I have no idea when, but I passed the fuck out. I woke up to my boyfriend poking my shoulder. Scared the shit out of me. He's like, it's sleepy time, and we don't sleepy time on the couch. We sleepy time in the sleepy time rooms. Okay. It took me forever to get off the couch. I had to get my bearings. I was so confused. I passed out hard. So whatever, went to bed. I don't even know what time it was. I never even looked. It must have been early because I got up like around 2 to go to the bathroom. So, and I felt like I passed out hard when I woke up at 2. So, I don't know. It was weird. And then I got up this morning, probably about 9, and because he's got this fucking oscillating tower fan to move like the air conditioning from the other room into the bedroom, which I understand, but fuck, it's cold. Oh my god. And it hits me directly because he sleeps on the far side and I get stuck in front of the fucking fan. I don't like the fan. I get cold. He's the one that likes the cold. Like, switch me spots, dude. I even said that to him last night. I was like, come on, bro. I don't like to be cold. I don't like to be sweaty either. I like to be perfectly in the middle. Like, just nice and content. Can I have that, please? No. Fuck. So I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning. Absolutely freezing. With all the blankets pulled like right up to the back of my head. It's still freezing because it hits me directly in the face, which was also causing coughing fits for me. Fuck's sakes. Whatever, man. So I got up and I got washed up and I went back down to the Timmy's for my morning coffee. And I sat outside for a little bit. I finished the podcast I was watching yesterday, and then there was this, I didn't realize it was done in 2 parts, so same day but 2 parts. Excuse me. So I've started that. I'm going to finish that when I get home. It's a very interesting proceeding. I've never seen a case on arguing the it's not the insanity plea, it's called something else, but you know what I mean. So it's very, very interesting. I love watching court TV. I find it so fascinating. I have to remind myself it's American law, but I don't think it's wholly different from Canadian law. But but it's a very interesting podcast, and it's all the you know, all the psychological experts and stuff, and I just find that absolutely fascinating. So I'm gonna finish that when I get home. And but when I left my boyfriend's place today, I gotta backtrack a little bit. When I left my boyfriend's place today, I got outside, like I packed up my car, and I came back and talking to him for a minute. And went to go outside to have a. Was I gonna go? No, I was going out to pack the car. I gathered all my stuff. I was going out to pack the car, and I was backing out of the apartment. So I'm backing out and I'm shutting the door, and all of a sudden this dog starts barking, and I could feel it at the back of my leg, and I jumped and I spun around. It's fucking ugly mutt, barking and snapping at me, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And then I realized it's got my wrist in its mouth. And I'm like, excuse me, sir? Give me my hand back. And this friggin' twat, I mean, she let it walk right up to the doorway. Like, control your dog. Oh my God. You can't let your dog walk willy-nilly. Like, you keep it next to you, for Christ's sake, or on the boulevard. Fuck's sakes, right up to people's doors. And his apartment door opens up, like, right onto the sidewalk. So, well, there's a little walkway, and then you're on the sidewalk. So why she let this dog go right up to his door is so far beyond me. Scared the shit out of me. And then I realized that my wrist was in its mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's going to be a nice bruise tomorrow, let me tell you. It is throbbing something fierce right now. And she's like, oh, I'm really sorry. We're still trying to teach him manners. I'm like, yeah, well, if you're having that kind of issue with your dog, you need to have it fucking muzzled. Just saying. Fuck's sakes. I let it go because I figured, like, I checked, and yes, there were teeth marks, and it's gonna bruise nicely. But I didn't see any broken skin. So I went and loaded my car, and I came back, and I got into the apartment, and my boyfriend's like, oh, are you beating up dogs? And I told him what happened. He was furious. And I said, well, it didn't break the skin, like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So I go out. I said, I'm just going to have a quick cigarette, and then I'm going to book. So I went out and sat. There's like this raised garden thing on the boulevard. So I went and sat on that, had a smoke. And he came out with me. We're talking. And like my wrist is like really throbbing. Like, fuck, it got me good. And I looked, and it did actually puncture the skin a little bit on my wrist. There's just a little bit of blood. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Like, awesome. So if I'd known that, I would have made a phone call about it while she was standing in front of me. But I'm here to tell you, in the time it took me to go around the corner, load my car, and come back, bitch was gone. She was gone. I have no idea where she went, which direction. Whatever. Fucking whore. So I finished my cigarette, and I went back into the apartment, and I washed my wrist and everything really good with some warm soapy water. But it is really throbbing right now. I might throw some ice or something on it when I get home. But holy fuck, like, I've never been bitten by a dog ever in my life that I can remember. Like, ever. I've been jumped at. Like, I've had dogs jump at me and whatever, and I just give them a good knee in the chest, and that's the end of that shit. Fuck off me. But this thing, I no sooner turned it around. Like, it took me a second to realize that my wrist was in its mouth. Like, my wrist this way was like in its mouth, and I'm like, the fuck? Are you kidding me? Muzzle your goddamn dog. Like, if it's like that, if it's snippy like that, fucking muzzle your dog. Barking, I could give a shit, but it's gonna come right up on you and just like that. Like, fucking muzzle your dog. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was pissed. I love dogs. That's not the dog, that's the owner. Muzzle your dog. Don't you hit my car. Don't you hit my car, bro. I see you. So, yeah, it was an interesting moment. But anywho, I think we're almost at half an hour. So I am gonna boot. I need to get home. Got stuff to do, laundry, dinner, all that kind of good stuff. So Anybody watching, I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I hope you're ready for the week ahead. If you're not, I'm very sorry to hear that. I can't help you. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.